Assalamualaikum Miss Noor. My name is Shafiq Azlan.
My name is Syed Umar bin Syed Ahmad Junid.
My name is Arif Kamil bin Azman.
And today we will be presenting the product life cycle theory. Now, a bit of background on the theory. So, this theory was proposed by Professor Raymond Vernon of Harvard in the mid 1960s. So, Professor Raymond made the theory to explain patterns he observed in international trade and how a country may have an economic advantage over another even in producing the same product. So, Professor Raymond observed that during the early stages of a product's life cycle, the production along with the labor to develop it comes solely from the place it was first invented. But he noticed a pattern in all these products. The products will eventually go through the exact same stages of introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now, once the product becomes adopted in other markets of the world, production will shift away from the place of origin. So he noticed this for all products in general, and he came up with an observable pattern. Now, of course, this theory is still a theory and it's not a fact, but it has been proven to become a useful model for a lot of producers in ensuring that their product stays in the market and they can gain continuous sales. Alright, so let's talk about the first stage. So, in the first stage, which is known as introduction, a product is first introduced into a market and consumers are still unaware. So in this stage, the product has just been produced, so it is not that popular, there's not a lot of demand, and also there's very few competitors because it's a new product. So what producers will do in this stage is promote the product in many ways, such as commercials, billboard advertisements, and so on. So if the product sells well, it will enter the next stage.
Now, moving on to the next stage, which is growth. In this stage is where the company starts to make in real money, where the revenue starts to come in high quantity. So in this stage, usually when the product is entering the growth stage, other companies would start to make their own version of the stuff that you are trying to sell. So in other words, they become your competitors, and when your competitors start to sell their own version of the product, you would come up with strategies that would in other ways that would eliminate their products and make yours the better one per se. And then they would usually spend more on marketing so that the customer would be attracted to your product. And then once they have gone through the growth stage, they would enter the maturity stage, which is the third stage. And the maturity stage is where the product becomes widely known. Like sorry, I forgot to give an example for the growth stage, which was to example would be Chatham versus Tea Life, and how Chatham was the first to introduce the bubble tea in Malaysia. But then Tea Life came out with their own, and they started competing from 2013, I believe, until now. Yeah, and then moving on to the third stage, maturity. This stage is where the product becomes widely known, like how it is right now in Malaysia and the bubble tea craze. And then the demand starts to stagnate, like we see now in stores in Malaysia, like in Tea Life and other bubble tea stores. We start to see people not going to these stores much anymore. They start to stagnate the sales, and then the supplier would come up with other strategies like reducing the price to maintain sales and market share. And then the foreign demand would also be increased. For example, like Jingputang in Malaysia, and when originally Jingputang was made in Taiwan, but then they saw an opportunity for our country, and then they came to our country, and then they produce the product here and sell the product here, and it's actually selling quite rapidly right now. Yeah, and then moving on to the fourth stage.
Moving on to the fourth stage, which is saturation. At this stage, the volume of sales is very natural. Modifications are made in regards to the product to attract new customers. The profit made during the life cycle of the product may be used for research in developing a new product to replace the old one. For example, as we can see, Apple's, they are creating a new product which is from iPhone 4 to iPhone 11 Pro, which is very good and give a lot of benefits to the consumers. So it will eventually change the mindset of the consumers to buy the product. And then for the stage 5 is decline. At this final stage, the product along with the process of its production is very well known. It occurs when the product has peaked in the maturity stage and sales begin to decline. As we can see, Apple's, why they are creating a new product, that is because they want to eventually stay in the market and they want people to continue buying their product. So that's all.
Right, and if I may add for the decline stage, so according to the theory, products will eventually reach this stage where it's not feasible enough to produce the product anymore. So here, the product can simply just be discontinued, it's stop production altogether, or the product may be sold to another company, usually in other countries. So because production in other countries may be cheaper, commonly used example is China, where a lot of products are produced there but are exported to other countries. So in conclusion, the product life cycle theory is a good model to follow because each stage is well recognized, and knowing that your product will go through decline and will go through saturation, companies may come up with new strategies to ensure that their product stays, or come up with new strategies to create new products to replace the old product. So that has been all from us. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum.